Right, hello everyone. Another project for a friend. He's got this Tartan Twin RC engine, and normally the exhaust ports are this side, but he wants to put it in an S-Bach model, and if the exhaust ports were the normal way round, i.e. opposite to the air intake, as you can probably see, hopefully, there's no room for the exhaust. So I took the cylinders off and checked the ports, and there's no problem with turning them round. So I've turned the piston round, so the pistons are still the same way round in the barrel technically, and now the exhausts will be coming down, which obviously will give a bit more room to make some exhausts. So that's the project I've got to do, is to make the exhausts. So I've just started to fettle the manifold brackets, which I'm in the process of doing. I did some of it on the mill, but I'm just smoothing it round and getting it ready now for the manifolds. He wants 2 down pipes coming backwards slightly into a silencer, and then the exhaust coming out the bottom, twin exhaust coming out the bottom. So right, that's the plan. So we'll get on with it, and I'll bring you back as and when I do each part. Cheers for now. Right, that's the manifold brackets done. So I've got to sort out the tubing now for the manifolds themselves, and then some sort of silencer. So onwards and upwards. See you soon. Right, okay, welcome back. I'm just annealing some tube now. We're just blacking it off with the soot of the acetylene, and then just heat it gently until the black disappears. If you start to see a red hue, that's almost at the point of melting the aluminium. So you've got to be very careful. It's only aluminium tube, and this is what I'm going to bend for the manifold. There you go, the black's all gone. And if you look, if you can see it on there, it's just starting to turn orange. See, that's already gone through now. There's a hole there gone through, straight through. That's what I say, you've got to be so careful. Right, see you in a bit. Right, okay. Now the tricky bit. Right, what I've done is I made a plug for each end of this bit of tube. I've had to cut that in half because I blew a hole in it, didn't I? But I only need a short length for the thing. You might be able to see there. It just started to melt again. There's such a fine line between annealing it and melting it. Anyway, make a plug for each end, whack it in quite hard, and then what I do is I fill it with this old sand that I used to use in my shop blaster. very, very, very fine sand, and whack that in really hard, and then we'll have it. That holds the form then, keeps it in shape, hopefully. Right, back in a minute. Right, the moment of truth. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if it'll work out to how we want it to work out. I don't need a very tight bend because I only want to come off the thing. So I should just get that. Oh, it might help if I put the handle in the right place, won't it? Think that'll work? Probably. Right. Let's see. I only need a short bend, like I say. So. Push that in there. That's a bit bigger than the tube that's supposed to be in there, but there you go. Bit of brute force never hurt a bit of tube. If it don't fit, get a hammer. There you go. Bit of squoil. Right, the moment of truth. Here we go. Let's see what happens. I'm in the way. The voice is in the way now for that last little bit. I'll just do that. Come on. Right, we're not going to go much more than that. So, let's see how we do. That'll give us a couple of bends to play with anyway, once I've cut them off into the right place. So, let's see how, see if I can get this off. I ain't worried about the plugs coming out. There we go, there's all the... Might as well put the sand back in, reuse it if I can, even though I've got a fair bit of it. Right. Oh, I think I've been to the beach. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Try and get that in focus. That's held its form quite well. Really pleased with that. Right, I can cut that to the right shape now in the places I need to. Clean it up and weld it on. Right, see you in a bit. Right, welcome back again. Right, there's the manifolds done. Different lengths at the moment because I've got to figure out where they're going into. So, but anyway, that's the manifolds done. Now there'll be a silencer on the back here of some description. I'll figure out something for that, with twin pipes going down through. So, oh, there you go. Tricky. I haven't welded a lot of thin aluminium, and with a cheap Chinese TIG welder, that was tricky to say the least. But anyway, we persevered. Don't know whether you can see the weld. It's not beautiful, but certainly going to do the job. There you go. Right, I'll do the silencer now. Cheers for now. Right, hello again. Just thought I'd you might like to see this. Right there, that's how it's going to be. That's if you can see that, that's just about 4-5 mil behind the spinner, so the back plate and the prop will go there. So I've got a fair bit of room to play with. So I've got to make a silencer to go on between those two, and then the pipes will come out the bottom somewhere. So right, see what I've got in the way of aluminium tube, big stuff to sort that out. I was going to perhaps use this bit of 2-inch. It's about 2-inch, might be a bit more, aluminium tube. I'll see what I'm going to do. Right, see you shortly. Right, hello again. So far so good. Right, the plan is, there's the part of the exhaust. I didn't like that piece of aluminium that I was going to use. It was far too big anyway, so I just got a piece of I think that was a 1 1/4 inch round tube, split it in half lengthways, and added a couple of gussets. So right, so that'll now fit on there. With a bit of persuading, like that. And there'll be two down pipes that'll come out the bottom for the exhaust exits. That's the man. So there you go. Right, I'm going to drill a couple of more holes, get them in the right place, and sort those out for exhaust out pipes. They're done over and that, and so it provides a clean airflow backwards. So, and the flowing forward helps to draw the exhaust out. So, well, that's the way I understand it anyway. So, right, okay. There you go. On to the next bit. I must admit, I'm starting to learn a bit more about welding thin aluminium. It's really the first time I've ever done it, really, and crikey, what a difference to welding thick aluminium. But I'm getting there. That's not the prettiest of welds, but it's doing the job. It's probably taken me longer to weld that up than build the engine mounts for my V8. So but anyway, it's all a learning curve. That's the main thing. So onwards and upwards. Cheers for now. Back shortly. Right, hello. Right, the basic concept's all there. This has just got to be welded in place now, as you can see. I've just got to that'll go in by about ½ inch, which will be about there. These I haven't, the outlets I've got to try and figure out. They want to be in a certain amount, you know, ½ inch or so, which helps to create the baffling effect. It helps to make the exhaust swirl inside the exhaust rather than being just right on the outside like that, and trying to come straight out. If you push it in a bit, it will help to create a baffling effect and a little bit of a back pressure effect. Whether that's absolutely right for this engine, who only knows. That's a bit of trial and error when the engine's running. See if it runs fine, it runs fine. If not, we'll have to try something else, alter something slightly. But I can't can't weld those in quite yet because I need to know how the canopy is going to go on, the cowl rather is going to go on in relationship when the engine's fitted. I've tried to make a mock-up, and I think the best thing to do is do them so that they're quite close to the bottom of the cowl, so that the cowl hasn't got to move very far for it to lift off, if you're with me. So anyway, what I'll do is I'll weld these on, get those done, and then try and figure out with my mock-up how far these are going to stick out. So right, on with the next bit of welding. Cheers for now.